what are some of those steps that people can do? Because I think that the challenge is that wealth management individuals, they know how to analyze and they know how to sell, but they don't necessarily know how to sell themselves,
themselves. Mm-hmm.
which is so crazy, right? But like we are selling ourselves every day, but we don't know how to sell ourselves in like a social environment. And I think that we're always trying to put a veil over us when we are public because we're dealing with people's money. So people are very scared about being authentic and vulnerable, etc., which is one of some of those aspects that you have to be to create that consistency, as you said, of in person versus online.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you bring up some good points. There's also some additional layers of approval that just happen to exist in this industry and other professional industries, lawyers, doctors, etc. So I would say step number one is make sure you're fully aware of what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. I don't necessarily know those things as a brand strategist. I'll typically push the limit. Like I'll get to the edge of, trademark, copyright, etc. when it gets into some of the legal stuff. But it's important to know what the rules are for your industry, rules and regulations. I'd say step number one. Step number two is really thinking about social media and building an online brand from a selfish standpoint. And I'll explain what I mean. This is going to make sense for you, Matt, because you already do it, even if you don't realize it. But social media and content creation are opportunities to really be discovered by brand new people that could become clients, they could become friends, they could be passive consumers of whatever you create. They could also ignore your brand if what you create doesn't resonate with them. And that's fine. It's exactly like real life. You're not going to hit it off with everyone, but you are going to hit it off with someone. And social media still to this day, even though algorithms are changing and it becomes harder and harder to be discovered, there's still huge opportunity to create something from scratch that becomes something that can become something that complements your business. An example for me is, yes, I've been a brand strategist for over 10 years now, but only in the last 2 years have I created a separate vertical within my business, which is based on content creation, essentially working as a creator to support brands like Adobe, and Adobe Express is my biggest partnership. But these brands hire me to create content that promotes their platforms, totally separate from my agency. I've also seen tons of people on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn in the financial world that have landed similar opportunities. If you build a base, you use social media as an opportunity to showcase your expertise, that can become very powerful. And it doesn't necessarily need to promote what you do one-on-one. I don't find branding clients through social media. Actually, that's not true. I have found a few, but that's not my goal. But I certainly have grown an audience sharing tips for branding, reviews on the latest AI tools and tips, design, social media. I've built my own brand that coexists as a separate vertical, but it interconnected with what I do. And that's been really interesting. So I think be open to how those opportunities can unfold in a way that you might not expect. Be selfish. So I feel like it won't take a lot of time in your head. It's not going to seem like it takes a lot of time if you get a lot from the process of creating this. It's not about putting all this time and effort into hopefully being found online. Use this as a way to complement your business. Use it as a way that is rewarding for you, something that brings you value in the process.